Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video and welcome to the second channel. And I thought we'd do a Huzzy update today because we actually haven't done an official Huzzy update video in quite a long time. And I think it was before something happened. And we're going to talk about like a bunch of stuff. So we're going to talk about how am I at the moment, how is the world's condition. We did this obviously a few months ago. And we'll also talk about what happened a couple months ago. Obviously we were doing the move. Obviously that didn't work out. So I thought I'd talk about that as well. And what are the plans for the new year and stuff like that, and how is things in general. And also I will say, feel free to let me know how you're doing down below. I like the sense of community as a YouTuber streamer, and especially on stream. And I'll say it's easy to do it on stream because you have the same people come into your stream every day and you get to learn who they are and you get to learn kind of the individualness of everybody. It's harder to do that on YouTube, but I do pay attention to the comments and I do see the same people commenting and stuff, so don't think you're ignored. But how am I doing overall? I would say I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it on this camera scene. I probably will, but feel free to tab out and just kind of treat this as an audio thing. Some of you may notice we have new graphics, and before I say how am I, hopefully you guys like the new graphics. I will just show them off very quickly here, so don't tab out yet. But we got this done by a great artist. That he was the same guy that did Lando Norris's graphics, the F1 driver. It was quite expensive, but it's worth investing into your own stream and everything like that. And I do think it kind of gives a sense of more professionalism. For example, if you've not been on the stream, one thing that you guys won't see on YouTube here is this. So you have the transition that obviously you'll get that occasionally, from going from the game to the end screen, you get that. But here's the starting screen, and then you've got the break screen and stuff like that. And obviously there's an end 1, 2. We've got the new, the actual intermission that you guys will see this. Obviously that's black at the moment because I don't have the LOL client open. But yeah, this is pretty good. The next thing of this is in the bottom left, where it has Steel Series get 10% off. I'm actually going to kind of do like a rotating thing of that. So it'll be like Steel Series, then there'll be like Secret Labs. Check out the link down below for the best gaming chair. Like that will also kind of rotate a bit too when we get in game. So this is the in-game League of Legends screen. You can see in the bottom left that we've got new updated panels down there too. And it kind of gives it a fresh look, fresh kind of paint as you will. And I'm overall pretty damn happy with it. So that's happened, and obviously that's a reinvestment into the stream and into the YouTube channel that you don't do that often. I've had all the same artwork, and the reason why I did it is I've had the kind of same artwork for, I think it was going on for 2 years, and obviously it is still the same logo, but it's all new kind of new stuff, and it just kind of gives it a bit more oomph, a bit more life, and I think it was a good idea to do so. So I was happy about that. And I think it came out really well. And I think many people who have been on the stream the last couple of days checking it out have been like, oh, snap. Because it does have that sense of professionalism, especially that like the transition from going from scene to scene. You have like the really big streamers on Twitch. All of them have got those generally because that is quite like a professionally thing. So I'm happy with how it's turned out. But other than that, how am I? I'm really good, honestly. And it's nice to say that. Even maybe about 2 weeks ago, I wasn't doing too hot. I was just feeling a bit overwhelmed, but things have calmed down a lot and I've just relaxed a bit more. And with relaxing, I found it's becoming easier to make content because I am okay. I've always been okay with uploading losses, but what usually happened, and why if you're a YouTube viewer, you're like, oh snap, Huzzy's uploaded a loss in 2 weeks. What was happening mainly was frustration in those losses. I wouldn't never rage or anything, but I got frustrated, and I always kind of felt there's no point me uploading just frustration. Well, now I have uploaded and am uploading a few losses because there are still lessons with them, and my frustration level has gone down because I'm okay, I'm chill, and it's nice. It's a really nice feeling to have. So I'm happy about that. And, the YouTube channel, the main YouTube channel, has been struggling a little bit for the past week or so. I was actually contacting and have done YouTube partner support today. And they did express like a couple things that okay, that makes sense. But they are launching yet another investigation about my channel. It does seem that my channel gets hit by a couple bugs here or there to do with the viewer, the view number. That it's a weird thing that my view number has been a bit oof for the past week. But the income, which you naturally, when your viewer number goes a bit down, you'd expect the income to go down. The income hasn't. It's literally stayed the exact same. It's not gone up. It's not gone down. It's stayed about the same. That doesn't make any sense. Even if like ad money is returning a bit more to normal, it still would see a bit of fluctuation, and it just hasn't. So even the person I was speaking to was like, yeah, that doesn't sound right. If the view number was actually going down, the income would show and reflect that a bit too, and it hasn't. So I'm hoping it's just a bug that the viewer number is just a bit bugged and it's not showing the true viewer number. I was told last time that this thing kind of happened, that YouTube as a company has started auditing their viewers more because a lot of YouTubers, which sounds bad, have botted their views, at least in the early stages, and they're kind of YouTube now is trying to get on top of that, and they're trying to like clamp down on people doing that. But it obviously has affected the whole website. So even though your views are all legitimate, we're holding views, you know, for a few days to not publicly say that they're an actual view until everything's in the clear. And every channel's going through that. So maybe it's just this, and maybe my channel got weirdly hit a bit more than normal. I don't know. But hopefully that'll be back to normal. You know, there's always a sense, a bit of worry as a YouTuber that, you know, it's my job, and if it is going a bit oof, it's your job going a bit oof. But what I will say is, what I'm really happy with is the stream. The stream is something that I have, and I don't think it's a secret, been focusing a lot more on probably in 2020, like since 2020, maybe even just before 2020. I put a lot more effort into the streaming a bit more, streaming longer, getting that sense of community more, investing more into the stream. You know, all the emotes that we've got now, and all this, like a lot of these panels. Obviously, a big part of the expense was stuff that the YouTube channel would never see. You know, the starting screen, the break screen, there's all the panels that are below the stream as well that you can click off. Obviously, the YouTube channel doesn't see that. That's purely for my Twitch stream. So I have started to invest more in the Twitch channel, and the reason why is I've always and did always consider myself a YouTuber, but since 2020, I don't. I consider myself a streamer / YouTuber, or for the better part, a content creator. You know, in terms of income, for the past couple months, it shouldn't be too surprising. Twitch has overtaken YouTube. That is for a couple reasons. Even in my peak a couple months ago, when we were getting 1.3 million views a month, we got that two months in a row, which is like really good. And obviously the income level on YouTube has been dramatically hit in 2020. That companies aren't really still putting adverts too much on YouTube compared to what they used to. So even if you're making really good content on YouTube, you are currently getting rewarded less for that financially. So that's a big reason why the income level has shifted. But obviously on Twitch as well, we had a bit of some crazy months that we nearly hit 4,000 Twitch subscribers in 1 month. And then the month before that, I think we had like 3,000 or something, just over 3,000 Twitch subs, which is something that I'd never expect to happen. You know, I still don't really think I deserve that at all. But it was crazy, you know. And what's also cool is the other day, or yesterday of me recording this, I don't know if I'll get this out today, maybe. I did another subathon, but we did it in a brand new style. That obviously, with living back at home, I can't do a 24-hour stream where I can be loud and talking the whole time. That obviously you have people living and wanting to sleep. So the way we did it, I saw another Twitch streamer do it, that they spread a subathon over 2 days. I think it was Vader. I think he did it that way. He might have done 2 16 hours, not 2 12 hours. But I did day one, which was 12 hours. And then whatever time we got excess, you know, from people subbing, bits and all that, would then go over to the next day. And it would go up to another potential 12 hours. Well, we got, I think, roughly 20 hours out of it, which is, I think, technically a record in terms of me doing a subathon. I think before this, about 16 to 17 hours was the best subathon I ever did. And I did do that in one go, and I was literally dead at the end of it. This one was healthier. I think people were more engaged in it as well, because I wasn't like a zombie near the end. I was tired, but I could still keep going. Like, I didn't fall asleep straight away after I was finished, put it that way. So it was really good. So I was incredibly happy with that. And yeah, we've built a great community, and that's made me incredibly happy. So what I was saying is, you know, yes, I've got this a little bit concerned with the YouTube channel, you know, but with the Twitch channel doing so well in that avenue and having a great community behind us in that way, the concern isn't as much as it used to be. Like, if my YouTube channel had a really weird thing happen 2 years ago, I would have been very worried, like probably to the state of not really sleeping in terms of worrying them. I'm someone that struggles to sleep if I'm worried. Well, now I can because I do have a Twitch channel. And if you notice, I don't know if how many of content creators you guys watch. A lot of content creators that I watch have become more Twitch streamers than YouTubers, and they just use their, and you know, they were YouTubers, they were massive YouTubers, and they now have YouTube as their second thing. I don't ever want to consider that. For me, they're always going to kind of be like level pegging. That's why I do 2 videos a day every day without fail, which is still a little bit crazy. And I've always said that might calm down when I eventually have other things to do. But right now, obviously, especially in 2020, with not really going out, we don't have anything else to do. But yeah, like a lot of people treat Twitch is more rewarding than YouTube in a lot of ways sometimes, and the Twitch staff are a lot more helpful and they care a lot more about you than YouTube. That is just a fact, you know. I've got YouTube partner support, but I don't have a guy that I can just call or Skype or Discord or message anytime at all. On Twitch, I do. Her name's Bella, and she's great. I've got a question. I usually, in a working day, get an answer within like half an hour. And I will say that is quite rare. Friends of mine who are Twitch streamers, they have partner managers as well. That's what they're called. And theirs aren't as responsive. Mine is great, and she's awesome. And obviously on Twitch as well, there's more things going on sometimes. You know, there's Twitch bounties, you know, these little sponsorships. There's all the Twitch Rivals tournaments. Like I worked out the other day, and by the way, excuse me if this update video is very tangenty. We're just having a bit of a nice conversation. We'll get onto other things soon, and I'll nearly finish this bit here. But I worked out the other day with Twitch, and obviously they don't care how big you are as a YouTuber when you're in Twitch. Twitch Rivals tournaments. I worked out the other day that I think I've roughly competed for $500,000 in terms of Twitch Rivals tournaments. How crazy is that? Like, you know, obviously I'm not saying I won $500,000, but I've competed in tournaments with Twitch Rivals that if you add up all the prize pool that I potentially could have won or whatever the prize pool, it's like $500,000. That's like pro level tournament winnings and earnings and stuff, and I'm just a pleb, you know, I'm just a streamer. I'd say probably I've won. I was also working at how much have I won. If I've, you know, it's not a great ratio. You know, I've competed for technically $500,000 in worth of Twitch Rivals tournaments, and I think I've won. It's between $5,000 to $10,000, which is still fantastic. You know, again, that's $5,000 to $10,000 in revenue that YouTube would never give me. There's no YouTube tournaments that they organize. You know, so it's cool. Like, there's a bit of concern with YouTube, but I'm more relaxed than I normally ever would be because we've done a lot with the stream. Hey, no, there is an argument. Let's say my channel does have a bug at the moment. Well, before the bug, you know, views haven't been insane for the past, well, they've been doing okay. I've always said if I'm over 1 million a month, I'm fine. This month, it might just be below 1 million. We'll see. And obviously a couple months ago, we had 1.2, 1.3, 1.3 million. That was 3 months in a row. I was like, whoa, snap, that's really good. But you know, normally YouTube channels have a upward trend. We've kind of been about the same for the last couple of years, which I'm fine with. You know, I've always said if I could lock my income level for the last couple of years, I would say yes. And it, you know, even if it meant like, oh, you're locking your income level, and I get a crazy amount of success in a year or two, oh, you're still locked to the income you agreed to 2 years ago. I would still say yes right now. I'm happy with it. You know, I don't need more. But you never know. So yeah, but that's YouTube and Twitch. Overall, I'm happy. I'm a little bit worried about YouTube, but not overly. So there's that. You know, hopefully it will pick up. And what's another good thing that we can talk about that would have not been in the last update is I now get early information, like official early information with Riot. So that's something that not many people get, you know, at all. You have to be someone that has been around for a long time in the league partner. You've got to be trusted. You can't be someone that is known to cause issues or drama or toxicity in any way. And I was selected. I think they've opened it up to a couple more people, but in the UK, I was one of the first 2 people to get that. And it was really, really cool. I think they've maybe got 4 or 5 of us now that get all that. But it was a really cool feeling. Like, this is information that, you know, the whole world playing League is going to find out. And I get it a day or 2 early, which helps in terms of being a content creator a lot. You know, my Yone video that we did got over 150,000 views in like a day. because I got to make it early and launch it at the same time as all the information come out, you know, and that will be the case moving forward. When a new champion comes out, I can do the exact same thing. So that's really nice. And obviously in 2020, we have 3 more new champions, which is crazy. We've got like less than 4 months of the year left. We've got basically 3 months to go, and there's going to be 3 champions. So, you know, in my head, there is that thought as a YouTuber that it's like, oh snap, if I could have 3 videos, one now a month, if like, let's be honest, there's probably going to be 1 champion per month now for the rest of the year. If that's a video that's over 100,000 views, each of them, that's great. That's like a little bonus extra video that maybe I might need at the moment just to kind of get, like, you know, the ball rolling a bit. And, you know, I will say partially as well, the views, I think around this time of the year are never amazing anyway, because it's the time of the year, the season as a whole in League, people care about the least. We're like 2 months away, roughly 2-3 months away from the season ending. So people aren't in a rush to climb, and also it's nowhere near the beginning of the season when people are also playing a lot. So it's kind of in this kind of weird lull where so many people aren't even playing League at the moment. Obviously, the biggest part of the season when it comes to content is the beginning. So, you know, that will be soonish. Before we know it, anyway, with how 2020's been. Other than that, so that was a big tangent. That went longer than I thought, but hopefully you guys were interested. Other than that, health and that, doing pretty good. Back in the gym, which I'm happy about. Sorry that there's not been any car vlogs, by the way. Believe it or not, I've actually had problems with the GoPro both times I've been back. So the first time I had all the equipment, I was going to record a vlog in the car on the way, and the SD card was full, and I had no idea. And I was like, oh. A week later, I left the SD card in my car. Sorry, I left my GoPro in the car for the week. I cleared it, you know, literally when I got home. I was in the car still, and I cleared the SD card. I was like, all right, I'll leave this in the car for a week. Don't know what happened. Either I left the camera on or something. Yeah, the battery was dead. So, yeah, that was a bit awkward. So hopefully this upcoming week you'll get a car vlog, as long as nothing else happens. But I've loved being back in the gym. It's nice to be active. Haven't been able to do, like, you know, with all the lockdown and all that, I wasn't doing crazy amount of exercises the last few months. Even though I kind of wanted to, it wasn't there for me to do so. And my body isn't used to doing multiple exercises a week again with the intensity level that I do sometimes. So I've been going to the gym and my body's been dead for like 3 or 4 days. And it's like, well, if I do another exercise now, my body might be dead when I go to the gym properly on Tuesday or whatever with my trainer. So it's like, ugh. So, you know, obviously pre-lockdown, every crazy, I was at a really good place that I could exercise like every day if I wanted to. My body was like on top of it. And that's when I was like doing my best. That will be back like within a couple of weeks probably. Weight wise, doing really good with that still, just above 12 stone. In Britain, I can't remember what measurements they are, but yeah, in peak lockdown, by the way, I did get down to like 11.5 stone, but that wasn't healthy weight loss. That was me not feeling great in lockdown and not really eating at all, like not even doing my 1 meal a day. I think I had like 3 days that I didn't really eat at all because I just really was feeling weird. So yeah, that wasn't a healthy weight loss, but yeah, I'm looking forward to get back into it. You know, 2020 for a lot of us has delayed things. A big thing for me was getting more in shape, like properly getting in shape, and I'm in a pretty good shape at the moment, but the next level. So that'll be good. And then I guess we can talk about, you know, what happened with the move. So the move was exciting, and I've wanted to do it for ages, but 2 things. One was a bad time to move, and was the wrong house. And I even was speaking to my family a bit about it earlier, because I was speaking about, oh, in the new year when I go look to get another place. And it was, even if the world situation wasn't what it is currently, that made everybody kind of feel a little bit alone and stuff like that, especially when you're like moving out for the first time ever, you know, alone. I still think the house was definitely wrong for me, for a couple reasons, but like it was too big. It was a house spread over 3 stories, and when you're alone, it was really weird to feel like, you know, I'm on the top floor here and I have no idea what's happening on the ground floor. Like generally when it's a 2-story house, you can kind of get a sense what's going on, or if you know there's other people in the house, not a big deal. But when you're completely alone and you're on the top floor and there's 2 other floors below you, it just felt you felt even more alone. It's hard to explain, and I don't know if people get that, but yeah. So there was that, and also the way that the house was, it was a skinny townhouse. So my office, wherever I put the office, was always going to be joined to the neighbour's house. There wasn't like on one floor, like 2 rooms next to each other. One room is near the neighbour's house, but the other one is, the other side of the house with a wall that separates. Every single room was the width of the house. So every single room would have been joined with the neighbour's house. I didn't think it would be a problem. I really didn't with how building and walls and everything. Like, I don't know. I just didn't think it would be a problem. I was convinced it wouldn't be. But when I moved in the day, I started to hear the neighbours, like the other side of the office wall. And obviously I couldn't hear them with my headset on or whatever, but when I was just walking into the room casually, I'd hear like, you could hear like faint voices. And, and that was in the middle of the day, not even like in the peak of night when everything's really quiet. So it got to me that I was like, I can't stream at the time I want to, which is like up to like 2, 3 a.m. I would really wanted to do that a few times a week for especially Americans. And all the confidence to do that, when I was feeling a bit anxious, feeling alone and everything, completely was gone. Like, I was like, I can't stream at that time. And that's why I was moving out practically, So I got really down about that. And then I was like, what's the point? I feel alone. I'm in a house that's too big and I can't stream till 2 a.m., for Americans. It was literally a negative. So I was like, this is pointless. So that's why I came back. So I did come back. Luckily for me, you're not supposed to leave your rental stuff, a month after getting it. But they were nice about it. I got off pretty easily. Obviously, I did lose a little bit from doing it, but I learnt lessons, and all the stuff that I bought is mine, and that will just go to the next house. So all the stuff that I practically have to move out, I have when I move out again. So it's weird, but like I lost a little bit for obviously like a month of rent, little pieces here or there, but nothing insane. So that was good. And that moves on to what's my plans upcoming. So what I've said is, the longer time I leave it, in theory, the world should continue returning to normal. Even though, it is still here in the world, that thing. We should hopefully get closer to a vaccine or whatever, or it just goes away by itself. Probably not, with people like still not doing the correct things. But anyway, I'm waiting till the new year, and I'm going to try again in the new year. So I'm either going to buy, so I'd like to buy a house in the new year. But as I mentioned, if the YouTube channel isn't doing great, there is that little bit of a worry, is buying a good idea? But I 100% know I'm moving out again. So if I'm buying, if it's a good thing to do, and the problem is the area that I live, that I want to stay in, is incredibly expensive. So for what I could get, it might be something that I don't want to move into, but I could rent it instead. It's kind of weird. So whatever happens, I'm going to move out again, rent or buy. But I've learnt some valuable lessons for moving forward. So when it comes to the loneliness and all that kind of avenue, the world is a bit more returning to normal, especially by the new year. Me and my friends are planning to meet up, and we can, legally they can come over. When I was moved out, they couldn't even come around my house. Like that was against the law. So they will be able to come over. I'll be able to go over to theirs. I'm back in the gym. Life does feel a bit more normal. So there's that, and obviously that helps. But obviously a smaller house, and also not a 3-story house, because I really didn't think the 3-story thing would be an issue, but it is. So not a 3-story house, and also probably a detached house, so a house that's all by itself. No other house are like touching it on any side. Or if I am going to go for a house that is joined with another, there has to be the option to have an office the other side of the house that is nowhere near touching and joined with the neighbours. So these are things that I didn't think would be issues, but I've learned about it because of the experience, obviously, that we went through. So it's valuable. Life is about learning. It's about lessons and stuff like that. We've definitely learnt a bunch. Also, a garage would be nice. The house that I got didn't have a garage, and I do want a garage for a home gym and stuff like that. And if I am going away, it's a place to put your car. So yeah, like things like this, I've learnt, and I'm looking forward to doing it soon. Again, it's we're only probably like 3 months away. Like it'll be Christmas, New Year, probably about January, like in early to mid January. I will be straight away like, right, let's start looking. So yeah, not probably that far away. And I have had some friends message me going, will it, your experience that you had, is it going to put you off? Are you going to feel okay? And honestly, yes, like completely. It didn't put me off moving out. It didn't put me off anything like that because of the things I mentioned. It was the wrong time, completely in lockdown. I was feeling basically alone anyway, and I live at home. So if I'm already feeling alone when I'm already living with my family, obviously you guys can then probably imagine how I felt when I actually was living alone, because obviously can't see people, can't see friends, etc. And it was the wrong house. So next time, fix all those problems, and we're good. So yeah, hasn't put me off at all. And I do think, when that happens, it's going to help a lot as a content creator. Like, I was so excited to move out because of I was a content creator. I was like, oh, dude, I can do all the streams. I can have a day off that I normally can't do this, right? And this is a small thing that people go, oh, God, you don't think of this. I could have a day off going out in the day with my friends, right? Right now, as a content creator, I'd have to decide between having a day off to see my friends and streaming, And that's something that you might not think about, but it's something that I do have to decide. When I move out, and if I can stream at night, well, then I don't have to decide, because if I'm out in the day with my friends, I can come home, do an evening, night, late stream, no problem. Or, I'm out at night for dinner and stuff, well, I can stream in the day and then I can go out. Like, it just opens up all the possibilities. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be good, and that won't be too far away. So hope, again, I'm going to look to buy initially. If I can, I can. But I'm not putting myself under the pressure of buying. Don't force a situation to have a financial burden if you're not like, this is probably not a good idea. Obviously, a lot of people do know. I do have a bit of a nest egg of savings because my plan was to become a pilot. I have that money to become a pilot, which is great to be 26-year-old and to have that. But with 2020 being the way that it is, unfortunately, my plans to be a pilot have been definitely put on hold. For the indefinite future. So the reason being is, if you obviously look at what's happened in the world, a lot of people unfortunately have lost their jobs, including pilots. It's estimated, I think, around half pilots or something like that have lost their jobs to some extent, or they've been massively reduced in shift, and that won't really pick up until flights pick up massively, and when I'm like, I'm going to become a pilot, I have to be trained to become a pilot, and they're only going to be training new pilots when there's a demand for new pilots. Right now there isn't, because one, there's not many flights anyway, and secondly, all the pilots that they've let off and fired and got rid of, they're going to be the first people that get their jobs back. Why would you hire a brand new trainee when you can hire a guy that's already been experienced that you let go 2 years ago? So that's obviously a problem that we do have, but it's the way of it. My plan, deep down, if I'm honest, was maybe next summer I'd look to, like, when can I start the pilot's training, and that's 18 months, and it's just like 6 months in Southampton, 6 months in New Zealand, and then 6 months back here, and then I'd be a trained pilot and get a job in an airline. I was looking maybe next summer I'd officially start looking into how to do it properly and everything. That's been way delayed. Like, I'd say minimum it's been delayed minimum 3 years, I'd say, give or take. About 3 years, maybe 5 years. For example, we've got a family friend that is flying for one of the Eastern airlines, and we found out in 2 months. He's an international captain at one of these airlines. Normally flies obviously big jumbo jets, flies people every day. In 2 months, he had 2 flights, neither of which were passengers. They were 2 cargo flights. And luckily for him, he didn't get let go or anything. But apparently a lot of people in his airline have been let go. And him himself, I think, was on 50% of his income, which obviously is still a lot of money. But that just gives you an idea of what it's like in the pilots kind of industry at the moment. It's not good. So yeah, that's been massively delayed. So hopefully, I'm happy with being a YouTube streamer. And if we can kind of keep the current rate, and even if I'm completely honest, even if my income goes down a bit, we're still fine. Not trying to be whatevers, but my income level has been pretty good as a content creator for the past few years. Probably a lot more than people think for someone who's my size as a YouTuber streamer. And that's, I'd say, just in general on the internet, people underestimate how much money content creators are making. You know, if I know how much I make and it's pretty decent, the ones that are actually massive, I don't even like millions, like literally millions. But I think that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I don't know how much sense was said in this. It was just kind of, I've said it before. These update videos sometimes are a bit like therapy for me. That just getting things out there, talking. And obviously I'm not going to share anything really private, but it's nice. It's honestly really nice. And, you know, there are other background things that are going really well here or there. So, yeah, not bad, huh? But anyway, that's going to be that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, throw a like on the video. If you are watching the main channel, obviously, do throw likes and comments and ding the bell as well if you want to help out the channel. As I said, it has been going a bit weird recently. But that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, do all that. And let me know how you are in the comments. But I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.